This is the second battle between Llewelin and Masterbean. We have the Kingdom of the Franks, Kingdom of Charlemagne, versus Cordoba, the Emirate of Cordoba. For the Franks, we have a front line of mounted archers and archers. A lot of archers. For infantry, we have mounted swords, let's see, and armored swords. You would pick mounted swords over armored swords because they are a sturdier unit, and because of limitations in how many of the same you can bring. Then we have swordsmen, Frankish spears, and for cavalry, we have Frankish cavalry, 4 Frankish cavalry, and 1 guardsman general. For Cordoba, we have the Andalusian cavalry. Then we have the Andalusian archers, armored archers, and on the flanks we have Berber warriors, 2 Berber warriors, Andalusian infantry in the center, and these guys over here, the Berber raiders and Berber jinetes. So it seems like they are not going to do the same thing that happened in the previous battle. They're not going to be fighting over this hill, deciding instead to engage down on the flatter part of the battlefield here. I don't know if that was sort of a gentleman's agreement or if it just happened that way, because it would certainly be better for Cordoba to hang out on the hill here. Already the Andalusian archers are taking fire. Just walking into range now. It seems like the armored archers are content to hang back while these guys are taking the heat. And because the battlefield area now is constricted, these Berber raiders and Berber jinetes are going to have a hard time finding their targets in the form of this cavalry. Andalusian infantry is pushing, wanting these guys to turn around. But here come the armored swords. The entire front line of Charlemagne moves up. They are in a slight downhill position, some of these guys. Moving into shield wall now, so it's pretty much impossible for these infantry units to do anything meaningful against them here. Still, the archers keep pushing up and running straight into the Berber warriors. The Berber warriors are going to kill a lot of these archers. They are pulling back behind the safety of the shield wall. The swordsmen charging out to try to get at the Berber warriors. Same thing over here, but the archers managed to pull away. And let's see if the Frankish spearmen countercharge here. It seems like they do not. They do move into spear wall. And here the swordsmen are charging in. These swordsmen are not going to do too well against the Berber warriors, I think, in the charge. The sneaky Berber jinetes moving. No, they didn't manage to throw on the Frankish cavalry. But here's a nice unit of Andalusian cavalry coming in to get at the mounted archers. They are going to be able to get in, but the Frankish cavalry moves in to intercept them. The Andalusian cavalry did get a second charge in against the Frankish cavalry though. And here come the Andalusian infantry straight into the shield wall. These guys are getting picked apart. And it's chaos now in the ranks of the Kingdom of Charlemagne. Cavalry units breaking through, hitting multiple units, getting both into archers and swordsmen. The thing is, they can't really disengage here now without losing a lot of men. And yep, they're going to disengage, but they're going to pay heavily for it. The Frankish cavalry is taking a beating from the Genites and the Andalusian cavalry, but they do have support of this mounted swordsman. And the swordsman actually managed to get the Berber warriors off the field here. That was surprising to me. The shield walls are still holding, but here we have it. The swordsmen are breaking. They were not in shield wall. The Andalusian cavalry is now free to charge into the back of this blob. But they need more support here, because these mounted swords, they're not going to be easily taken down by spear cav.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
Fire incoming against the Umayyad guard, but he hasn't taken much prior damage, so he's fine at the moment. The Berber Genites are getting charged by the mounted swords.
The men are running. Stand and fight, damn you!
And cleaning up the Andalusian cavalry here is the guardsmen. The Berber Genites moving in to get some volleys off, but the Frankish cavalry turns around and hits the Berber Genites. The Berber Genites are gone. Mounted swords chasing after the Andalusian archers. They are taking fire from all of these archers, so they are going to get shot to pieces. Berber Genites not going to do too well against mounted swords in melee. Few cav units intercepting the Umayyad guard. The Umayyad guard with brace has a 39 bonus versus cavalry. So he's going to be killing a lot of cavalry units, but he is taking fire while this is happening. So losing, but he's going to chase off those guys, in no small part helped by the flaming ammunition that was fired from the friendly troops. These Berber warriors, they are a nice spear unit, but against the sword unit, like the armored swords, they just cannot compete with that. A lot of flaming shot raining in on the Umayyad guard here from multiple depleted units. And the Cordoban general might die here. And if the Cordoban general dies, there are a lot of low morale troops on the field for the Emirate of Cordoba. Look at all of this flaming shots. Wow, he's taking a royal beating. Hasn't died yet, but 1 or 2 volleys away from being dead.
Our men have regrouped!
That is one lucky general. Wavering. And he's shattered. Hasn't died yet. Looks like the general is the last man alive here. There we go. Nope, not dead yet. So no morale penalty left for the Cordobans until this guy has made it off the battlefield. So now there are only these archer units left for Cordoba. And there is this guardsman unit left. There is this Frankish cavalry unit left for the Kingdom of Charlemagne. The Berber warriors are exhausted, so they're going to be very slow at this point. Still getting into the archers, but getting flanked by exhausted mounted swords. So now it's just a matter for the Kingdom of Charlemagne to chase down the remaining archer units. The armored swords are taking a lot of casualties from this close range fire, but army losses are starting to take effect on the Emirate of Cordoba. So basically the entire army is either routing or wavering, but it looks like some of them are going to stabilize, strangely enough. But this is over. Let's just fast forward when the last remaining units are being chased down.
The men are running, cowards!
Quite impressive that these units are continuing to come back to the battlefield.
The enemy are losing their advantage!
Now the armored archers are going to shatter. And a Pyrrhic victory there for the Kingdom of Charlemagne. Comes down to the Emirate of Cordoba here. I mean, this is a lot of infantry that the Franks brought. They brought 7 swords and 2 spears, whereas Cordoba only had these 2 Andalusian infantry together with the Berber warriors. So the cavalry and the skirmish would have needed to do a lot of killing, but there were a lot of archers, 6 archers on the Kingdom of Charlemagne's side. And this one Frankish cavalry took out a lot of enemy skirmishers, but just not enough sturdy infantry for Cordoba here. And Cordoba can be used very effectively against the Kingdom of Charlemagne, but to do that they need to take out the cavalry. And the Andalusian cavalry is very good. However, the Berber Genites, in an ideal scenario, the Berber Genites are going to be on the flanks. They're going to be harassing the cavalry. In this case, the flanks were restricted because the engagement happened over on the flanks. So it was very hard to get these Berber Genites in where they needed to be. Strength and honor.